welcome to the Patriot Connection. I'm Malia Miskowitz.
And I'm Hudson Davis. Veterans Day is a federal holiday that we celebrate on November 11th. Patriot Connection reporter Taylor Williams takes a closer look at why this day is so important.
After Britain, Germany, and France signed an armistice to end the fighting in World War I, Europe searched for a way to remember those who lost their lives and bring them meaning. Britain wanted to aid the soldiers who fought and raise money for them. In the United States, Veterans Day is to honor the soldiers that passed, as well as the ones that served and are still active in combat. Wheeling Park social studies teacher, Mr. Treveri, says it's important to recognize the contribution of the soldiers.
Especially that veterans of combat experience higher rates of alcoholism, suicide, unemployment, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. And so while it's important to recognize their service, it's really important that we have a conversation of how we can do better for those people as a nation.
Wheeling Park has its very own club that helps out the veterans in our community called Patriots Helping Patriots. Mrs. Robbins is a world language teacher at Wheeling Park and is also the faculty advisor for Patriots Helping Patriots. She chose to sponsor the club because she knew the need that the club could fulfill.
We do wreaths across America, where we go to local cemeteries and participate with them, where we lay wreaths. Last year we purchased 7 through our Hat Day fundraiser, and we're hoping to do at least that again this year. We have done comfort item drives where we raise money and bring in items that go to our VA hospitals here in the state of West Virginia. We've done Christmas cards for veterans. We do a lot of things that if a veteran in need asks for help, then we're able to, kind of help bridge that gap and help get the help they need.
Those who have served may not realize the impact they have on other people's lives. Several Wheeling Park students tell us about the veteran in their life and what they taught them.
My Pap Fred fought in Vietnam. He's taught me a lot, that life's hard.
Both my foster parents, I came in their life probably about 4 years ago, and they've really taught me a lot. My foster dad has taught me a lot about cars, and my foster mom has taught me a lot about just life in general.
My dad is my veteran in my life, and he taught me how to be strong.
My great-granddad taught me to be persistent.
Patriots Helping Patriots presented a wonderful assembly here in the gym last week for our entire student body. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Taylor Williams.
The U.S. is home to well over 16 million veterans, which makes up about 6% of the nation's adult population.
They help us become more independent and even empower us. Part-time jobs. Patriot Connection reporter Paisley Jones explains.
Have you ever wanted to earn your own money but were scared that school and your social life would be affected? Research shows that the benefits of working outweigh the disadvantages. Students who work part-time while in school not only earn a paycheck, but also gain experience, independence, and confidence. The experience of working teaches us the importance of developing a strong work ethic and instilling a sense of responsibility. Mr. Turbanek is a career technical education teacher and actually teaches a class for students who have a job. He says that working provides students with the opportunity to really see what is expected of us after we graduate high school.
It's important for a student to work while they're in high school to learn important 21st century skills such as communication, team building, time management. This gives a student a chance to really see what is expected of them after they graduate from high school and become a real adult and employee.
As we know, with school, sports, and outside commitments, our extra time is limited. Working a part-time job can lead to late night finishing homework and laziness in school or on the job. Holding a job can also lead to lower grades and the feeling of being overwhelmed at times. The key to staying calm and being able to do work in school is balance.
Juggling school and work can be difficult sometimes, but luckily I work at a nice place where I'm allowed to do my homework sometimes in the back if we're not very busy.
When it comes to work and school, they're both important, but education is more important in my opinion. So I focus on schoolwork, and then when I can, I work, but if I have something important to study for, I'll focus on that rather than work.
My job offers a bunch of opportunities within the job, so now I just work on the weekends about 8 to 9 hours on the weekends, and I kind of just do my schoolwork at school when I can, and then on the weekends I focus on my job.
Practicing self-care and knowing your limits are essential to creating the perfect work and school experience. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Paisley Jones.
Honest communication with your employer, scheduling effectively, and managing your time will all provide success in your job.
Stress. It can cause anxiety, high blood pressure, and even a decline in grades. Patriot Connection reporter Braden Gooch explains.
Stress. It's something we all deal with from time to time. The dictionary defines stress as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Mrs. Short is William Park's counseling department chair and says she sees a lot of stressed out students come through her office.
It can be grades, it can be relationships, it can be, something that happens at home. So anytime that a student is feeling overwhelmed or stressed, we want them to feel comfortable coming here to the counseling office, but those are usually the most reasons that we see our students.
It turns out that people are most stressed about grades, problems at home, and relationships. Research shows the top 5 stressors include death of a loved one, divorce, moving away from home, long-term illness, and grades. What stresses you out?
Being a girl dad of 2 young daughters and having them at home with double ear infections, and I'm here just worrying about their well-being throughout the day.
Family drama.
When I get home late from a soccer game and have a test the next day.
In general, my job as a police officer overall is pretty stressful. We go everything from traffic stops to domestic violence, and a lot of times people call you when they need help at their worst.
Usually school and my homework stresses me out the most.
Believe it or not, stress can also be good for you. Experiencing something new or unexpected in our lives often triggers stress.
You need to really work through it, figure out good coping skills that you have for stress, whether that be exercise, talking to friends, whatever it may be. So whenever you are experiencing stress, whether it's good stress or bad stress, you really just have to learn how to cope with it and work through it.
Experts agree the best way to manage your stress is to quit unhealthy habits and to learn to recognize when you're under stress. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Braden Gooch.
If you need help managing stress, message your counselor on Schoology, as long as it's not an emergency.
Before we go to our break, it's time for Perk TV Trivia with Patriot Connection reporter Joe Farmer.
Thanksgiving, although famous for its turkey, is also known for its post-dinner naps. This week's question is, what chemical gives turkey its drowsy effect? Is it A, arginine, B, tryptophan, or C, guanine? We'll have the answer when we come back.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
What does Main Street Bank mean to you?
Well, Main Street has extended hours every business day, and they're open most holidays. Their new checking and savings accounts are really good. The balance requirement is very low, and they have online bill pay and debit cards right away. Plus, they have no fees or low fees. Great service, higher interest. That's money in the bank. The right bank.
Open your checking and savings account at Main Street Bank. You deserve a bank this good.
$1.1 billion teenagers are at risk for hearing impairment.
Loud environments cause damage to our hearing. Next time you're listening to music, remember to keep the volume down. This message is brought to you by WPHP and the Lions Club.
Did you know that good study skills will increase your confidence and self-esteem, as well as reduce anxiety for upcoming tests and deadlines? Students who use active learning strategies such as self-quizzing and reviewing key material will help you do better on tests than others. Start out by making a weekly or even daily to-do list, highlighting and taking notes in class, and setting aside study time every day. Developing good study habits will help you understand the subject and help you succeed in the future. Building better study habits will benefit you and your grades in the end. This message is brought to you by WPHP.
Park Builders is an active and exciting company in Wheeling Park High School's Career Technical Department. Under the direction of Mr. Will Myers, students learned carpentry skills used in many construction and wood-based jobs. Park Builders spend the school year working on sets for school plays and many other projects throughout the community. Most notably, they constructed the WPHS Hollywood-style letters on display as you enter Wheeling Park's campus. Wheeling Park High School's Park Builders, preparing students for life.
Before the break, we asked you, what chemical gives turkey its drowsy effect? Is it A, arginine, B, tryptophan, or C, guanine? The answer is B, tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid that is essential to the human body and just so happens to have a sedative effect on its consumer.
It can lead to diabetes, obesity, and high blood pressure. Patriot Connection reporter Aiden Davis takes a look at what happens when you don't get enough sleep.
Did you know experts recommend teens get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every single night?
I get a good 7-8 hours each night.
I typically get 7 to 8 hours of sleep.
About 7.5 hours.
Probably 5 or 6.
6 to 7 hours a night.
Probably like 6.
It's 7-8 hours of sleep each night.
I get around 6 hours.
Studies show that realistically, most teens get 6 or less hours of sleep every night. When we don't get enough sleep, it affects our decision making and reasoning skills. It also has an impact on our learning and memory. Mr. Jebbia is a physical education and health teacher at Wheeling Park and agrees that it's really important for us to get enough sleep.
I think one of the biggest transitions is the high school kids are staying up later in the summer and now they're not getting the proper sleep. Sleeping helps your entire body, it gets you the proper rest, it repairs everything. And usually they're saying 8 to 9 hours of sleep for a teen, which I don't think is fully always happening. And I think that's the biggest key, because if you're getting 5 hours, 6 hours, it's eventually going to affect you academically and in your extracurriculars.
Doing your best in school depends on how much you fuel and rest your body. If you're struggling to get a good night's sleep, here are some tips. First, block out light. Avoiding bright lights help your body produce melatonin, a hormone that promotes sleep. Next, minimize noise. Earplugs or headphones are a good idea. Also, turn down the thermostat at nighttime. The average temperature is between 65 and 68 degrees. Here's one more tip. Keep your phone away from your bed. Studies show that keeping your phone away from your bed at night is bad for your health. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Aiden Davis.
Remember, sleep is crucial to our physical, mental, and emotional health.
We are continuing our faculty and staff introductions on this week's newscast. Patriot Connection reporter Alex Tennant introduces us to the faculty and staff members who make up the math department.
Wheeling Park High School is home to 14 math teachers. Mr. Koneski is the department chair and has been teaching for 20 years. He says this year the department is using Khan Academy to help reinforce learning.
We're using it in the underclassmen to help with Algebra 1 and geometry skills. And then all of our juniors are getting great work with it to help prepare them for the digital SAT in the spring.
Other teachers in the department include Mrs. Cruz, Mrs. Duff, Mr. Duff, Mr. Fink, Mrs. Jeffers, Mr. Kearns, Mr. Miller, Mrs. Moore, Miss Schultz, Miss Shackelford, Mrs. Suter, and Mrs. Wheeler. Everyone is required to have 4 math credits in order to graduate. Reporting for the Patriot Connection, I'm Alex Tennant.
Thank you to all the teachers who welcomed us into their classrooms.
Now, let's take a look at what else is happening at Wheeling Park this week.
Good luck to Wheeling Park's speech and debate team, who will compete in Parkersburg this Saturday at the Eyes and Heart Tournament.
Week 3 clubs will meet on Friday, November 17th.
All Ohio County schools will be closed for Thanksgiving break from Wednesday, November 22nd through Friday, November 24th. School will resume on Monday, November 27th.
The second 9 weeks interim is November 30th.
FFA is raffling a grand prize of a half a hog and reserving 2 grand prizes for a quarter of a hog. You may purchase tickets from Mr. Bloomfield in room 110 or from any FFA member. The drawing is November 17th and the cost is $10 per ticket or $50 for 6 tickets.
Seniors may receive scholarship and college application help on Fridays during activity period. You must get a pass from school counseling and report to room 226 during activity period.
Yearbooks are now for sale. Visit johnstonsyearbook.com to order or bring a check for $74 to room 346, Mrs. Weir's room.
Students, don't forget to check out your class of Schoology group. You can find the links on Schoology.
Students can get 1 free breakfast meal and 1 free lunch meal in the nest using their own ID. You are not permitted to give your ID to someone else to use. Doing so could result in punishment for both students.
If you're interested in participating in Ohio County's Math Field Day, then sign up today with your math teacher. It's set for January 23rd and will be held at Wheeling Park High School.
If you plan on staying after school, don't forget about school supper. It starts at 2:30. You need to swipe your ID, and school suppers may not go on the bus.
Looking for a job? Don't forget to check out our job opportunities document on the Schoology resources page.
On Wheeling Park sports calendar this week, Wheeling Park swim team will compete at Lindsley on Thursday at 5:30.
Our varsity hockey team will host Westmont Hilltop High School on Thursday at West Bank Arena. The puck drops at 7 p.m.
Wheeling Park swim team will compete in Bridgeport, West Virginia on Saturday. Good luck to all of our Patriots.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's Patriot Connection. We're on WLTV 7 days a week at 6:30 a.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. For all of the Patriot Connection reporters, I'm Malia Miskowitz.
And I'm Hudson Davis. Have a great day.